Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 8:32 News and Views on Salam Media. Our next guest is Khalid Vawda. He is the founder of Social Intifada. Let's understand what that is all about. And then also we're going to talk about a fun-filled 2-day event happening here in the great Johannesburg area. It's going to happen sometime in August. And it is for a very, very special cause indeed. Khalid Vawda, assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program. Wonderful to be talking with you again after a long, long time.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Jazakallah khair for having us.
Wonderful to have you here. I see you're still very, very busy with your activism, and rightly so. This is not something that happens and, you're a one-day wonder type of thing and then it just fizzles out. You've been at it for a very, very long time. But particularly for this interview, we do want to focus on the Palestine Youth Event and Family Market. But let's also talk about you having founded the Social Intifada.
So Social Intifada, I'm actually one of the co-founders. There's a bunch of activists who've been doing work for Palestine for a number of years. And post-October the 7th, a lot of people were crying out and looking out for, naturally so, there was a lot of emotion and anger amongst the community in terms of what can we do. And Allah guided us to an opportunity whereby, social media has been the one medium that has broken the back of the Zionist narrative. It's the one means, rather, that has been used to destroy the narrative and to swing opinion away from something that has been very tightly controlled by mainstream media, which is strongly influenced and controlled by the Zionist narrative. So using that, especially in the space in South Africa, and obviously through social media, you can connect with people abroad in an instant. Social Intifada was founded with the intention of front foot digital activism, creating content, disseminating information, educating, sparking debate, working towards changing the narrative and supporting and amplifying Palestinian voices that could use the amplification. And alhamdulillah, that's one of the events that led to other types of activities that Allah enabled for us to assist in terms of assisting in protests and demonstrations, obviously being able to get the word out on social media fairly quickly. We've managed to able to collaborate with some key Palestinian figures abroad as well over the last 7-8 months. And alhamdulillah, we were fortunate to be part of the massive global anti-apartheid conference that was held in Joburg in May this year. And to be able to network with people who are active in the cause for decades, some for the entire lifetime. So it was quite an eye-opener. Earlier this year, when we sat down and had a discussion about what we'd like to do and how we can achieve some level of support this year for the cause of Palestine, we had earmarked doing programs for our sisters and for our kids. So in Ramadan this year, we had the Ladies Only Conference on Palestine, alhamdulillah, which was well attended and well responded to. And this one that's coming up now, a lot of planning has gone into this. There's a lot of work still left going into this, and I'm sure we'll chat a little bit more about this. But this is dedicated specifically to the youth, all our kids, 3 years upwards, 3 to 21-year-olds. We've got, and I'll go through some of the items on the agenda there, but so everything that you see up here now, all these activities are themed around Palestine. So it's not just fun and entertainment, it's rather edutainment, meaning there's a strong educational focus and there's a strong awareness focus going into each activity, which inshallah, our intention is that the kids have something to tie them into Palestine beyond just the day and just the weekend. Because as you know, as I know, we've been in this for a long, long time. And as much as we'd like Palestine to be liberated tomorrow, this is a struggle that Allah is testing the entire Ummah with. So we need to be ready for that, and we need to pass something on to our kids and the next generation to be able to take on the struggle.
Absolutely. Alhamdulillah for that. And I do admire people like yourself who are so absolutely committed and steadfast regarding activism, very especially with the Palestinian situation. What I'd also like to ask you, Khalid, is I've been to a couple of the marches, and I must say, the one in particular in Santon, I think it was on Santon Drive about 2 months ago, 2 to 3 months ago. I was very disappointed by the very poor attendance. Look, there were a handful of people, but I just felt nearly not enough. And I kind of asked, what does it say about us as a community? Is it about too many rallies being held? Is it about people beginning to get tired? I hope and pray not, because we need to keep the story of Palestine alive, the horrors, the genocide, etc., that's playing out. How else, apart from, I think, this youth event that you and your group have organized, that of course is the Social Intifada, is brilliant. But I'm kind of thinking, how do we keep up the momentum, that we mustn't lose sight of what is happening in Palestine, and that very strong narratives need to be repeated over and over again to the elders, to the younger generation, and very especially to our children?
I would say, Allah tells us in the Quran, reminders benefit the believers. I'm translating the Arabic. So I think we need to constantly remind each other, we need to remind ourselves, and we need to remind our communities about, firstly, what's going on, because there's atrocities taking place every other day. We just had over 120 shuhada this weekend in 2 separate bombing incidents, including a school, UNRWA school. We had a Salah area in Shujaiya that was bombed as well. So there's atrocities happening daily. I can understand to a degree when it's become too horrific and gruesome for people to witness this on their phones, because it's the first time in history that people are witnessing a live streaming of genocide on their mobile phones every single day. So we all have a threshold, rather, in terms of what we can absorb mentally, what we can absorb physically, because it does transcend into our physical being, what we look at and what we view and what we talk about. I had a moment yesterday. I came across a video clip of a little girl, mashallah, beautiful little angel, couldn't be older than 2 years old. And she was just covered in dust because she was witness to the bombing that just took place in the UNRWA school over the weekend. And she was covered in dust and trying to clear her eyes. And I'm thinking, these kids, the mums, the dads, the grandparents, they've all been through this ongoing genocide. There's nowhere for them to go. It's 9 months. Yet they're standing firm. Yes, they're human. They're not superhuman where they're standing firm every single day. They've got their dips. They feel pain. They feel hurt. They're losing loved ones. They're losing limbs. The least we can do on the outside is to help them by amplifying their story, by supporting them, by sending messages of support. And I think we've been blessed in a way in that one of the easiest things that we can do, is share content on social media. Everybody's got a mobile phone. Understandably, some people are not geared up for marches. Johannesburg's not been the best in marching ever. I was glad to see in the march in January, though, that we had a huge, compared to previous marches, we had a larger non-Muslim population that had attended the protest in January. So those were positive signs, because people are seeing the truth and they're coming to stand up for the truth, irrespective of race, religion, background. So sharing content on social media, every now and then have some type of event, where people can come and just get a bit of a booster, be in an environment where they're with like-minded people, where they're talking about the same thing, where they're energizing each other. And then we can go back to what we're doing, and then we can continue talking about and spreading the word. It's not easy. But then again, Jannah has a price. Jannah is not going to come easy. We're seeing that with Gaza. We're not just going to walk into Jannah. We have a struggle on our hands. And as many scholars have mentioned, the measure of the strength and the pulse of the Ummah is what happens at Masjid al-Aqsa and in Palestine. So that's an indicator of where we are as an Ummah. And we need to keep making reference to that in order to introspect and check ourselves so that we are aligned to the truth. It's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to become embroiled in, and I'm sorry to use the word, but our mundane affairs every single day. When you compare the fact that tomorrow, in an instant, your home is lost, all your belongings are gone, your family members are gone, what then becomes the value? What's the value in our lives? And so we need to introspect on a regular basis, and Allah is giving us an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. Well said, Khalid. Just before we go to the youth event, which I'd like you to unpack in more detail, something's just popped into my head. Recently, I saw a call for support from our community for a couple of families that are wanting to relocate to South Africa from Palestine. Obviously, they managed to get out of the actual dreaded genocidal zones and are able to make their way and try and find refuge in other parts of the world. And that plea, the person who put that out kept on asking for support, and I'm not quite sure where that got to. Are our organizations geared up to embrace these families and set them up? Because we put so much of energy in other issues surrounding Palestine. Here is where the real test comes in, does it not? Where we need to resettle families and make sure that they are, the moment they land in South Africa, they have a home, there's possible job prospects for the people who are employable, that the kids get absorbed into schooling almost immediately, and make them as comfortable as we possibly can. And I'm wondering about that aspect. And I'm wondering, as a social activist, if you can start taking on this, you and your organization, look into this and take on this role as well.
We have to give credit where it's due. And one of the things I know about our community all over the country, whether it's in the Cape, whether it's here, whether it's in Limpopo, whether it's in KZN, is that when, in terms of welcoming people and in terms of looking after people, our communities rally together and they help out. So I know from being on various groups and interacting with a number of people. So, for example, recently, two brothers who were displaced from Gaza have arrived in Johannesburg. They've been resettled by a community. They've been arranged for a place for them to stay. Their CV's been going around for work. Alhamdulillah. I know similar has happened in Cape Town as well. And similar is taking place in Durban. So it's not happening on a formal level where there's organizational work taking place. I do know the charities are available to assist. Gift of the Givers has done fantastic work. Wings of Mercy continues to do, support work where they can. But I've seen our communities, in suburbs, in localities, get active on this and try and rally around within their family groups and within their social circles to help a particular individual or a particular family. And one of the things that we'll be doing, if you don't mind, I'm just going to jump onto the event because this ties into the event. Is we've got at least about 5 to 7 vendors at the event who are Palestinian, who've come over and who will be selling their items, whether it's actual goods or sharing Palestinian cuisine. These stalls have been given to them because we want to help support them and help kickstart whatever they're doing. And we also want to showcase a bit of the delicious Palestinian food that's available. So in terms of networking and supporting, we're trying to do something from our side in giving them access to this. And for anybody coming to the event, you'll have access to some amazing Palestinian food. You'll even be able to possibly get Palestinian caterers on for your next event by exchanging details with the brothers and sisters that will be attending and will be sharing their expertise, inshallah.
SubhanAllah, I just think it's so amazing that you guys have got to this point. And I just want to also mention there's a sister by the name of Aisha Samam. She's Palestinian, settled in KZN. I'm sure you've heard of her. I'm sure that you have, in fact, interacted with her. I understand that she and her family have opened up a Palestinian restaurant in KZN. And I do urge everyone, our community, we have a love of good food, and let us go out and support this family and this establishment. I think it's called Gaza Licious. So please, good people, let's go out and support our brothers and sisters from Palestine who are trying to make a living for themselves and resettle. So let's get to the main event of the actual discussion, and that, of course, is the Palestinian Youth Event and Family Market. And thank you so much for sharing the fact that we're going to have a couple of Palestinian vendors at this actual market.
Absolutely. So we pleased and honored to have Salam Media on as our official media partner. So listeners and viewers, please tune into Salam Media regularly for updates on the event, as we share information in the coming days and weeks about the event. So the event is focused around, obviously, firstly, our youth, in that we've sat down and planned some carefully structured activities for all the kids. So starting from your 3-year-olds going up to the 21-year-olds, we've got amazing activities which all have Palestinian themes to them. So it's a form of an awareness creation, and it's a form of combined with a bit of fun as well. So these are broken up into, so if you are purchasing a ticket, we advise everybody to go online and purchase tickets because there's limited spaces for each of these activities. So if you as a parent decide to go online and you're assuming your daughter is between 9 and 11, you see the canvas painting option that's available. You've got time slots that you can choose, both on the Friday and on the Saturday, within which you feel you would like to attend, and your child can attend that particular time slot for the activity. And that goes through across the board. So in terms of activities, we've looked at what appeals to our kids, and we looked at something that could possibly encourage our kids. So if you scroll down that list and you look at the older kids, we've got the Palestine Information Network that will be hosting a quiz for boys and girls in the 12 to 14-year-old age category, and in the I think it's the older category as well. And these are all Palestine-themed questions. The quiz is actually it's a competition, so there'll be a winner at the end. We've also got five-a-side football for the 9 to 11-year-olds. And again, this is an opportunity for us to educate our kids about the plight of footballers in Palestine and sports people in Palestine and the immense challenges that they face, some of them being amputees because they've been shot in the knees by the Israeli occupation forces. We are introducing something new as well, which we hope will encourage our kids to be able to take on a direction that can manifest their creativity and their skills. So if you look at, we've got content creation and we've got debates for the older kids. Now, with content creation, a lot of us and a lot of our kids as well are passive scrollers of content on our phones. What we'd like to do is spark something within our kids whereby your creativity comes out and you're able to tell your story and you'll be able to do something positive for your community, for Palestine. So there'll be guidance, there'll be teaching available on this, and skills development on content creation. And debating is something that our older kids would come across, especially in high school and at university. We formulated a debate competition to encourage the kids with debating skills, being able to present an argument, being able to rebut an argument, being able to close an argument, all the while maintaining your emotions and presenting factual information. We've got people involved in debating on a professional level who are assisting with that as well. So loads of activities, something for everybody, but there are specific time slots. I must impress on this. There are specific time slots that you can choose when you are purchasing your tickets online for the mums and dads. The stalls are open all the time, so you're welcome to enjoy the variety of food stalls that are available. There's lifestyle stalls available selling a variety of items. We encourage support of the businesses in the community as well, some generation there. Spend time with your family in a wholesome environment. We'll start on Friday, inshallah, with a mass Jummah. So everybody is encouraged to join us for Jummah Salah on Friday. There are Salah facilities. There's adequate ablution and other facilities for our public. So Salah will be running throughout. Like I said, delicious food, loads of activities. We've got the highlight of this as well for the adults is we've got on Friday 2 presentations, and on Saturday I think we've got about 5 presentations not longer than 15 minutes of guest speakers, both Palestinian who are in Johannesburg and people who are active in other spheres, which we feel can encourage and guide the community in terms of real affairs that are taking place right now. So there's a massive spread of activity, and we're doing free medical screenings as well. So the IMASA are going to be on hand, the student body, and they're going to be doing free medical screenings for people. We've also got the charities on board, so people who want to donate directly to Palestine can see the Gift of the Givers or Wings of Mercy will be present, inshallah. We've got an artist who's donating Palestinian art, which we're going to be auctioning, and the funds will be going to Palestine. All the proceeds from the activities and all the proceeds from the gate entrance fees, which is only 30 Rand per adult, all of that will be going to Palestine from our side.
Okay,
so
Khalid, can I just come in here? Can I just come in here, please?
Sure.
Beautiful poster. It says August at the Emerentia Primary School. It gives us the time, but I don't see dates here on the actual poster. Can you just confirm what dates we're talking about here in August?
It's over the long weekend, so it's the 9th, Friday the 9th of August and Saturday the 10th of August.
Okay, fine. You want to put that date out, please, because people won't know actually when it's happening. And then also you talk about booking events online for your children. Where do they book? Is it through Quicket or is there another site that they can book through?
There is a link which has been shared. It's on our Instagram handle at Social Intifada. It's also available on the various WhatsApp community groups that have been gone out. The link is there directly. Or if people are unsure, they can just call us, or they can drop us a WhatsApp, or they can drop us an email, and we'll share the link with that. More communication will be coming out with that in the coming days as well, inshallah.
Inshallah. I must say that so much of thought and logistics has gone into arranging this, and undoubtedly you guys are still in the working phase. So I commend you for the amazing events that you guys have come up with. It's not just about walking around the stalls and buying some food and see and be seen situation, which normally is the case when you go to a pop-up or some sort of a festival or a market. Here you guys have put in really a lot of thought. You've been very proactive, and you've certainly catered for all age groups as far as families are concerned. In closing, what else would you like to share with us? And I'm sure we're going to have many more conversations going forward up to the time of the event.
So a strong appeal to everybody to come out in numbers to support the event. You'll be supporting, obviously, the cause of Palestine. More importantly, you'll be encouraging your kids and setting a direction with your kids for the immediate future and, inshallah, the future thereafter. We want our kids to be active. We want our kids to be aware of the cause. We don't want our kids to be distracted from, everyday things. We want them to have a purpose in their lives. Apart from having careers and having families, which all happen, alhamdulillah, by the decree of Allah, we are tied into Palestine. It's part of our deen, it's part of our DNA, it's part of our fabric, as are the affairs of Muslims around the world. So we're encouraging everyone, young and old, please come out in numbers, come and support the event, come and support our Palestinian brothers and sisters who will be at the event, help their businesses, help our local businesses, and have a wholesome time with your family in a blessed environment, inshallah.
For those people who don't book their entry tickets online, can they actually pay at the gate and come in and get access to the event?
So anybody can walk in and pay at the gate. That's not an issue. However, for the activities, we would urge everybody to please make bookings online. There's a number of logistics that take place beforehand in terms of prep. So that would really, really help us. We can't guarantee participation in activities if you walk in on the day. You're welcome to attend the talks and the stalls, but the activities, we would strongly encourage everybody to please book online beforehand.
Khalid, Vawda, I think it's a brilliant initiative, and no doubt it's going to be absolutely sold out. I really do look forward to pop in and see what's going on, and I know it's going to be a huge success. And from what you've shared with us, I can see lots and lots and lots of thought and hard work has gone into the prep. And undoubtedly over the weekend itself, you guys are going to be possibly run off your feet. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your efforts, inshallah, and for making a difference, of course. We will be talking some more in the future. Thank you for being with us on the show. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Ameen. Jazakallah khair. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Well, you've heard it all. A brilliant initiative, and it's happening over the long weekend in August. If you haven't any plans of going away, here's a must-attend function, and that, of course, is the Palestine Youth Event and Family Market. It's happening at the Emmarentia Primary School in Emmarentia, and this is, of course, over the long weekend in August the 8th and 9th. And as we move along, thank you indeed for paying attention to that particular interview, and please do make sure that you go out and attend this very, very worthy cause and support it with all you've got, inshallah. It is exactly 8:58 News and Views on Salam Media. In a minute or two, we are going to be talking with a mosque, a trustee, and that, of course, is Yusuf Desai, based in KZN, north of Durban. We do know what's happened there. Apparently, a bomb was planted there a couple of days ago. We're going to get an update from him on this matter.